Hello there, welcome to the Perfume Experience. My name is Rodney, and today we have a fragrance from the house of Ajmal, and this is called Summer Sage. Now, this is part of their artisan line of fragrances, and we're going to review this particular one among the 6 that we have. And let's find out how good this is and if this is going to be the new pocket friendly king, right? So, let's find out all about it on this particular video. You're watching the Perfume Experience. My name is Rodney. Let's get going right after this intro. Alright, so welcome back. So like I said, this is the Summer Sage and this is part of their new line of fragrances called as the Artisan Series, right? Now aside to this, I also have other fragrances here, and let me just quickly tell you about each one of them. This is called as Oud Smear, so this is one of them. Then of course you have Fleur Silk, okay, so this is beautiful from the house of Ajmal again. Now this is Leather Noir. Now this is a leather fragrance, but the dry down has a nice leather. I tried it, it's very nice. It's got a fresh kind of opening but with a nice leather touch to it. And then this is Currant Crush. This is a fruity tart kind of a fragrance that you should explore, and of course a very nice one for summers and all across the year. This is called the Patchouli Haze. So for the ones who are new to this channel, on this particular channel you get fragrance reviews every week, about 3 to 4, and we review Indian houses, Middle Eastern and niche as well. So you do know the house of Ajmal, and Ajmal is a very big house across when it comes to perfumery. It is one of the larger perfumer houses or larger fragrance houses across from the world, and it is of course from Dubai. From what I know personally is that Ajmal is one of the largest suppliers of oud in the world. So that is something that you should definitely know, because their line of oud fragrances are definitely exquisite. But today we're going to look at one of the 6 fragrances from the house of their artisanal series called as, Summer Sage. Now let's look at the box. It comes in a box like this. This is a light grayish color kind of a box with the black border to it. It says Ajmal, and on the left hand side it interestingly talks about all of the artisanal series 6 fragrances that they have here. And on this side you will find the fragrance notes of this particular one, and we'll talk about that in a while. But at the right at the top you do have a Ajmal hologram that is very nice, and at the bottom of course you do have a barcode. Now I think they have taken a lot of effort, they've put in a lot of thought behind making this particular product. For the primary reason why I say that is that there are small things that there is a lot of attention to detail that's gone into their work in this particular series. Now when I first got the entire 6 fragrances, I actually thought that their pricing should be about something like 1,500 or so, because it kind of felt like that with the packaging, with the box presentation and all of it, for the simple reason that I will tell you this, that even the film, even this plastic film that they've used is of a very good quality. It is much thicker than most fragrances that you kind of get in this particular budget. But aside to that, let's also look at the bottle. The box is basic, it's a paper box, but then it's pretty good. It looks good, it feels nice, it looks premium. And the bottles are this way. So they've gone for this black colored gold bordered bottle, very nice, accented, very well done. And you have the Summer Sage written here, you have the Ajmal branding, and these are all Eau de Parfum concentration. They also have the logo at the back, so the batch code information is here. On the whole, the bottle looks very nice. You will be even surprised at how good the sprayer is. Okay, so let's do a spray routine of this particular fragrance, and let's do a few sprays. So you see that the way it kind of sprays, it sprays a lot and it smells nice, and you can kind of see this oil stain or the concentration of the fragrance. But nonetheless, what do you get? What's the scent profile? Well, this particular fragrance is called Summer Sage, so that definitely means there is going to be summer accords to this particular fragrance. There is going to be a good amount of fruity vibes. So what you kind of get is, right at the top you have bergamot, you have fig, and those are 2 very important commodities to make this particular fragrance very nice. Now along with the bergamot and fig as well, there is also the inclusion of vetiver in the base, and of course there is also patchouli and guaiac wood. But aside to that, in the heart there is also jasmine on this particular fragrance, which is very mild. But there is another element in the top note that makes this particular fragrance very good, and that is the inclusion of sage, and that's why the name Summer Sage. So what you kind of get is fragrance that opens with a little bit of a sweetness because of fig. Now fig as a fruit, it's got a very creamy texture, it's got a little bit of tartness, it is sweet as well, but not overly sweet, right? Now along with bergamot, you have a nice citrusy zesty opening. So the sage that comes into this particular brings a spicy element in a very different way. Now it's not like typical very spicy kind of a fragrance. In fact, this is a very refreshingly sweet fragrance which has got a hint of spice. Now in the heart notes, like I said, there is jasmine on this particular fragrance, and also it talks about violet, which also gives that talcum type of a feeling. Now when you sniff the fragrance, you do get slight hints of jasmine, but not overwhelming hints of floral hints at all, very subtle. But what I really like in this fragrance is the base note, because in the base notes you have patchouli, which is a very dry, earthy kind of a note, and in here it is taken into a more fresh kind of an accord. So there is a little bit of that freshness that you get from that, and of course there is the inclusion of vetiver. Again, patchouli and vetiver here are not very dominant as a note profile. They are very well blended, so you get a subtle hint of it. What I really like is the inclusion of guaiac wood, which makes this particular fragrance very woody. So on the whole, it's a very woody kind of a fragrance, and it's done really, really well. Now, aside to all of this, the way this particular fragrance opens up is that because of that fruity tartness, spiciness, and a little bit of that sweetness, it works very well for summers, especially for office wear. So if you are somebody who likes softer fragrances, who like fragrances that have a good sillage just around you, a nice bubble around you, but at the same time should feel unique and complementing, well, this does that for you. Okay, actually does that for you, because the projection on this particular fragrance is soft. You get about 2 feet roughly, I would say, but then it projects for about 45 minutes to 1 hour pretty nicely. Then from there to 1 to 3 hours, also it is got a nice bubble around you very well. But after the 3 hour mark to about 6 hours, between 5 and 6 hours, it becomes a little linear, it becomes a little soft, and the 5th hour to 6th hour is mostly a nice dry down that you kind of get on this particular fragrance. So on the whole, it feels pretty nice. So yes, this being from the house of Ajmal, you don't get that alcohol blast, you don't get that sense of that they've used low quality ingredients, you don't get that. In fact, like I said, when you see the whole package of the fragrance, the bottle, the presentation, the way the scent profile works, all of that actually makes you feel that you're wearing a very premium fragrance. The price point in which this particular fragrance comes, that is a big kicker, because like I said earlier in the video, I actually did not think that this particular fragrance fits into this budget, because when I looked at it, I definitely felt this is in the ballpark figure about for 1,500, because the MRP is about 1,600 to 1,800 for each one of them. But if you go to the website of in.ajmal.com or any of the e-commerce website like Flipkart, Amazon, Myntra and all of that, you will find this particular fragrance selling for 499 rupees. Now that is where I think this is going to become one of those fragrances that's going to be extremely good value for money when it comes to the 400 to 500 rupees budget bracket, because in this category of budget point, you generally do not get fragrances that are unique, you do not get fragrances that are original creations. Mostly what you kind of get are clones, or you basically get inspired versions of a lot of fragrances. But here, Ajmal being Ajmal, they have done an extremely good job on this particular fragrance, where the scent profile is very nice, it's very citrusy, it's very sweet, a little sweet, but then it's got that nice oak moss, vetiver and patchouli to bring it all together to give you that nice woody kind of a vibe. Now I tried this, which I kind of liked a lot, and I also liked the leather noir. This also is very, very good, because this has got that nice freshness along with a little bit of that leather vibe at the background. It plays very, very well. And I think this is something that will go very well even for day wear and for evening wears as well. But if you want me to review all of the other line of fragrances that they have in this series, I can definitely do that for you. But if you're looking for a fragrance that's very pocket friendly, that's got a nice signature scent profile, and it doesn't hurt you to spend a little to get a couple of them, because they're very versatile, and like I said, you will definitely get compliments as well, then you can definitely consider getting Summer Sage from the house of Ajmal. Okay, now I kind of like this because like I said, at the 500 price point you mostly have a lot of duds that I've experimented with, and this is nice to see a refreshing take, good presentation, good bottle, good perfume, all of them in the price band, and that's fantastically good job done by Ajmal. Now if you'd like me to review all of them, you can definitely comment and let me know, and we can definitely look at doing all of the other fragrances as well. But if you do like the video, hit the like button, subscribe and share your thoughts about which is your favorite from the line of artisanal fragrances from the house of Ajmal if you have tried this series. So until another time, take care. Bye now.